So we had all of the tops, all of the sides, the spreaders. I did come back, sort of just forgot about the camera and whacked these down for the sawhorses, which I have cut them all. Ron suggested 736, plus there's 2 of those, and then the opposites 737, which allows the tab to slip up into the underside of the table just to lock it in securely. So I think the idea here is really to make the first template with the tabs, which is plus 20, and then we'll use that with the router template guide and make 4 of them, and then we can zap off the tabs for parts 18 and 18, which there's 2 of, 1 on each side. So I actually think by cunningly having those offcuts that I did have from the other job, I have been able to spare this sheet of ply at the moment, which was the worst out of the whole lot anyway. As long as we don't make any mistakes here, we should be right. Hey? It's always harder when you're on camera, trying not to make mistakes. Anyway, sweet. So we'll go ahead and make 1 side of the sawhorse, and then we'll go from there, and we'll chunk a few out, get the router going, and set that guide up. I have, like I said, he was cutting them to 736 plus the 20 for the tab, but out of a full 2/4 sheet, I was able to cut mine at about 790 minus the kerf, just to make it that wee bit higher, because I'm a little bit taller, and yeah, there was no other parts on that sheet, so as long as I don't think that's really going to get us into any trouble. And if we didn't like it, well, we could just cut the bottoms of the feet off the saws anyway, and it'd be fine. So right, let's go at knocking these into size. Should have ripped the sheet to 1164 before I started. I didn't see that. Oh sorry, 1168, the big man says. So we'll just knock the sides off these with a fence, and then we'll look at marking one out and into it. Cool. Okay, so they should all be down to 1166, so we can live with that. Cool. This one was that scabbier one that was left over from the Muir job, but again, I don't think anyone's going to pull us up. And by the time it runs underneath the Hitachi Random Orbital 150mm sander, this is going to bring the whole thing up to lovely. Cool. I'll start marking this out. I won't bore you with the, again, smoke coming off, trying to work it out. We'll look at cutting it out with hole saws, the new HiKOKI jigsaw, and straight edge or whatever to connect the dots. Right, I'll go ahead and mark it out, and then we'll have another look at it. Cool. Okay, so we've started with the tabs at the top, the extra 20mm. We were already ripped to our 1165, was it, or somewhere about there. A couple of his measurements I've just made a little bit simpler, just for my own little brain, so I can work it out. You know, 102 becomes 105, just, you know, little bits and pieces. So now I'm going to start to mark out the in rake on the legs, so he's got that at 85 degrees. So just with this square coming out at 105, so my breaker bars are at 105, 105, and I'm going to make the bottom of my legs at 105 versus his 102. Take that round to 5 degrees. Start that making look like sun coming. If I just project that line up to here, and it's going to be 164 on the night eye. 164. Put that guy away. Connect those dots. Easy. Okay, so it's starting to take some form there. He's cutting this radius at 5 inches, so 127. Look, my hole saw selection. $115. Yeah, no, that's the closest I've got is out of those big boys is 115. So that's what it's going to be. Yeah, we'll mark that out. Cool. Okay, oh yeah, his legs are square, so that's cool. We've got the tabs on this guy, but like I said, we'll make 2 with tabs, and then we'll make 2 without tabs, and then we'll hinge these guys together, and that'll be the sawhorses done after a bit of cutty. So let me get set up for that, and yeah, we'll jump to the next stage. Okay, right, just because I am using CD ply, old carpenter's dream, obviously my good face I want to be out for the sawhorse. So with these, I'm going to actually do most of the cutting from the reverse side here, just in case if there is an over, it's easy for me to rectify it out on the front face rather than cutting it on the back. So what I'm doing now is I'm just finding the center of my radius for these 114mm holes that I've got for the hole saw. So I have set my protractor here to 57, obviously, and just finding those intersecting points, outer and outer. That looks right. Bang. That's my hole. I'll keep going. My neighbours are on. Yeah, right. Just for my drilling here for the 114mm hole saw radius, set my protractor to 57 and just find those outer intersecting points. Yeah, boom. That's my centre. That's my centre. Over here. Let's go for a quick one. Bang there, and I want to come in a bit there, and there. But if we put our holes in first, we can just connect the dots, and because this one's the template, all the other ones will be the same anyway, and 1 or 2 mils in these isn't going to make that great a difference. So got one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. Right, I'll just get this drill set up and we'll get good into it. Okay, so piloted it with a 3.5mm and jumped onto the 114. Turn the... These drills are awesome. Slightly over the line there, but like I say, we'll connect all those dots later on, and I went to 105. Might end up being old Ron's 103, so howdy doody. Cool, let's bust these out. Okay, actually, a couple of mistakes there, but that's alright because it's just a template, and I made the mistakes just to show that I'm human. We've got a bit of an overcut here and just down there where I wasn't really thinking what I was doing with the radiuses. Never mind. Like I say, because this is the template, and I still have a whole sheet up my sleeve and a couple more offcuts over here. I'm still going to just continue with this one, although it won't quite be handy perfect, but we'll just keep this as a template, run the router over it, and then all the other 4 will be the same. You won't see these overcuts on our new pieces. However, just goes to show you, I just wasn't really paying a handy on the attention scale there, and yeah, and paid for it. So let's just cut the rest of these tabs out with the new jigsaw and see if we can not make any more mistakes. Okay, so that's it there. It's probably actually the template looking better from this side. Once we clean all this up, yeah, the router should run over it all right, and you'll never know, will you? And we'll just put that down to learning. Hey. Okay, so look, we got the pattern sorted out. We gave it a quick going over with the random orbital, and then just tidied up sort of the radius edges, just so it was going to be a nice smooth template. There we go, get that on there. So now what I like to do is, I'll just bring the camera down so you can see better, is before I use the pattern cutting bit, I just like to give myself where I am going roughly with the router, so we don't make any real mistakes. Like that. Line it up again underneath. So it's all flushed up. That one's just slightly slightly larger, but I think that's alright. Hey, I use my little 16 gauge pinner. I love this for this sort of stuff with a little 25mm pin just to hold it in place and not get in the way of the router. That 16 gauge gun is actually awesome for that type of thing. Just put that there. We'll get an entrance hole because the pattern bit can't plunge. That's our start off. Looking pretty good. Just lock it up. Something like just okay into it with the pattern bit. So obviously pattern bit, we have set it at so the bearing is rolling at 12, cutting the pattern, and the cutter is up on the stock. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Should be about right. Cool. Right, let's get into it. Cool. Going in a clockwise motion just for ease on the router. Glasses on. Into it. Okay, awesome. Obviously we're going to cut 3 more of these after our pattern, or 2 more, sorry, after that one. Bring it out here and split that off those pins. Lovely. Those pins, and no one will sweet. Okay, so with this one, this was our male obviously, and if this is our opposite side, positive and negative, then we will just take the 20mm off the top here, and when these two are sanded up and they will be our horses for courses. corral them up, and yeah, awesome. It's going to look like that. This isn't it. A little bit of sanding. Again, with this is my absolute favorite sander in the whole arsenal. We've got a lot of sanders, but this thing is just absolutely beautiful to use, and it makes a fantastic job. As soon as you pick it up, you know you're holding something that's the jam. Okay, I'll go ahead and, like I say, make 2 more of these from that template. Same goes. One of them will have the tabs, and the other one, again, like this one, will just be the theme up. Too easy. Cool. Absolute thing of beauty. Okay, so all 4 of them are cut. 3 more to our original template. Easy. What I will do now is shoot all 4 of these together, or clamp all 4 together, so they all are uniform, and I will belt sand up all the radiuses on the front nose of belt sander, get all those looking nice, and that is pretty much the sawhorses till we go and hinge them and start setting them up. That'll be about it. So yeah, let me just clean these guys up with Team Sander, and yeah, too easy. Okay, just flush these all up and shoot them together with a 45. Good. And down here, feels pretty good. One more, go on. Should hold it. Right. And then you can sand the whole lot as one. Actually, I'm not going to clamp on that. Cool. Into it. Would be if the power was plugged in. Pretty good. Looks good. So that now is our 2 horses. All good. I probably will just run over them with there's a slight haze of sawdust in here. I will run over them again just with my finishing sander, and both sides, just make sure all of that's nice. Might as well start like we aim to finish, and yeah, too easy. Righty ho. I had tried Ron's method with the strap as the hinges, you can see here, but look, I just didn't really like it. It was it just felt a little bit Mickey Mouse. So I am going to use fabric for the tether to stop the spread, or limit the spread where we want it to be. But yeah, it is, hinges are going to be the one here, so we'll just fire these in real quick. And I'm just making sure that the butt of the hinge is flush with the top side so it doesn't protrude out and take out our, so it's not higher than the top of the sawhorse obviously, and then it won't be clashing on the underside of the bench. Okay, I'll get his mate on, and then that'll be good. We'll set up the straps, I'll get them here, and we'll just sort of have a bit of a measure up and get them both the same. Just use this fabric as the tether. I've got some wafer head screws, so we can limit the spread, and that'll be the sawhorses done. Yeah, I'm close. Okay, so here is the sawhorse. I just made some reference marks for the legs for the same spread each side, and then just sort of kept everything uniform with the straps. And then we'll set up the other one. We'll make the spread exactly the same, so the cleats are at the same height, and that's good.